and 3 packs of portobello mushrooms high in vitamin D. We're going to increase the vitamin D very substantially. Oops. Now what you can do is just, with the gill side up, you have to leave them in the sun. What I do is I just break them up. Take these away. So what I'll do is I'll just break them up. I'll break it up here like this. You could slice them if you wanted to, but I just find it more natural just to break them up like this. Okay, today we will be increasing the level of vitamin D in mushrooms. Today I purchased portobello mushrooms, and now we expose them to the sun. The UV light from the sun will increase the vitamin D content in the mushrooms, but after about 2 days it drops off, so you only need 2 days to blast the mushrooms with the sun's rays. If on the days you turbocharge your mushrooms, the weather isn't particularly sunny, then it should be still okay, seeing as UV rays still get through, but I would have thought the effect is probably much less. Place the mushrooms in the sun upside down or gills side up. You notice that I don't wash the mushrooms. Before cooking, I soak them in water for a few minutes to wash any dust or dirt off. Then add them to soups or a casserole type dish and cook. Here's a tip for you. I've made the mistake of washing them and putting them in a wok to stir fry with vegetables, but the time it takes to stir fry just isn't enough to cook the mushrooms. They will be tough and still dry. So what I do, if my cooking method is stir fry or a quick cooking method, then I would soak them in water for 10 minutes or more. So here's an idea. Wash them to take any dust or dirt off for, let's say, 1 minute or so. Then throw away the dirty water. Then in a new bowl, transfer the washed mushrooms and add mineral water. I use Evian water and leave for about 30 minutes. And then you can use the water and the mushrooms for your stir fry, and they should be tender when you eat them. Make sure that you take your mushrooms back inside at night time. Why? Well, for obvious and not too obvious reasons. The first reason is, of course, the weather, because if it rains or even if there's a slight drizzle, then the mushrooms get soggy and it's easier for them to go bad. Also, in the morning you'll get the moisture from dew, so you have to contend with that as well, unless you want dew to be absorbed by the mushrooms. The second reason is that, at least in my garden, snails and slugs will wander about at night time and crawl all over the mushrooms and leave their slimy trail behind them and all over your mushrooms, which can harbor disease, and if eaten raw could be nasty for whoever eats them. In order to avoid snails gatecrashing your mushroom gathering, then just add salt around the mushrooms, so you create a border, and this should keep snails and slugs out. It's their kryptonite. They will quickly move away if they touch the salt, Don't put salt on purpose on a snail, as it could kill them. Mushrooms in the sun gills up in the sun for 2 days increases the level of vitamin D to a staggering level. Shiitake mushrooms, for example, which began with 100 IU, that's international unit, per 100 grams, soared to 46,000 units, international units, per 100 grams. And this is without slicing the mushrooms. By slicing or breaking them up, the mushrooms you expose have a larger surface area, and so would increase the vitamin D levels even more, I would assume. Doctors say that we should get 40 international units per day, but they give cancer patients from 4,000 to 10,000 units per day. So vitamin D is really good for you, and this is a great way to get vitamin D. There are other ways to get vitamin D. You can eat fish and expose yourself to the sun, obviously. But if you're a vegetarian, then it's difficult. Or if you have a fish allergy, for example, or if you just don't want to eat too much fish, or maybe fish is not available, not very available where you live, this is a really good method. The difference is, in fish you get vitamin D3, in mushrooms you get vitamin D2. Well, this is what they look like dried. As you can see, if you look now, they're really dry, and you can break them. If you can't get fish, or if you don't like fish, or you have fish allergy, or you're vegan, vegetarian, then, you know, this is a great substitute. And very healthy as well. It has beta-glucans and many other goodies inside. Okay.